happy almost Mother's Day. I just wanted to say I am so sorry for being a few minutes late, but it was well worth it. I had to pick my kids up from school and then speed demon here to the beach because this is where I've chosen to celebrate my Mother's Day. It's not just yours, by the way, it's just mine. But I hope that you guys are doing something fun for your Mother's Day. And we're here live from my beach condo here in Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. And I have this beautiful view out my master bedroom. And I thought, oh, you know what? My kids are on the other floor and I'm up here on our master bedroom floor, and I have locked the bedroom door and instructed Daddy that he is only to come in unless somebody is bleeding or he wants to refill my cocktail. And you know what the cocktail of today is? Yes, because if some of you joined me yesterday, you know that I was mixing up in preparation for Mother's Day weekend, which is going to be all about me. Hey, Kim, how are you, Kimberly? I miss you so much. I love you to pieces. And gosh, you're so dang gorgeous. Gorgeous. My friend Kimberly, who's on with us now, she's going to get back. She did modeling for a bit, and then she kind of put that on the back burner, and she's back into it. Gosh, she's so gorgeous. She did this photo shoot as a mermaid. It was adorable. Anyways, I digress. Yesterday, I went live on Facebook and I showed you all how to make sangria. But the thing with sangria is that you can't just like mix it up and drink it right away. In order for you to get the full effect and the full flavor, you have to marinate the stuff overnight. So I gave you guys a tutorial yesterday and I gave you strict instructions to start. Was it yesterday? Was it yesterday or was it Wednesday? One of these days I said, okay, you need to start now because you need to marinate it at least overnight so that all the flavors mix and mingle and get cozy together, right? So I mixed it up in a great big bucket with a spigot and everything. And I had a big paddle. It was mixing it around. It was kind of like, do you remember in the old days in college when you would mix up all sorts of liquor in a garbage can? It was that classic. Anyways, so the one ingredient that I didn't put in there at the time was the 7-Up. Or you use your 7-Up or a Sprite or use like a tonic water to kind of cut that, because what we were making was kind of like the base, and then when you go to serve it, you serve it with this sparkling. I like to do like Diet Sprite or Diet 7-Up. Hey Megan, gosh, I'm so sorry that I couldn't do this at home because you would have been an awesome partner to do this with. But anyway, so I have here in my glass, it's you know, the base to this. No, really? And you know what? I was sweating cojones the whole way here, Megan, because it was like 90 degrees in Greenville. We drove an hour here to the beach and it's like 75. It's perfect and cool, and so this is like heaven. And you know what's even more heavenly? That my children are a floor below me, locked out of my bedroom right now. Best part of my Friday. So yeah, so in here, there is, you know, there's probably about this much of the sangria mixture, and then on top of that is what I poured, like the 7-Up or the Sprite, and then you just kind of mix it around, you know, and then you drink it up. And as you can see here, there's big chunks of yummy fruit and ice. Oh, it's heavenly. I should have brought the whole thing up here. Like, you don't want to mix all of the 7-Up into the bucket, because then, you know, you want to mix the 7-Up in glass by glass, because you don't want to lose the fizz, because it produces a big bucket. So, you know, I'll be able to drink this for at least another day, maybe the weekend if I'm good. Can't guarantee anything, folks, but this is good stuff. So I don't know if any of you mixed along with me yesterday, or if you having plans to mix along, but this is yummy. And you know, it's going to get better as the days, well, as the drinks progress. Everything tastes better, right? But as you know, the time progresses and it continues to marinate, mix and mingle, it's going to get even better. But it's good stuff. And you know, if you're, you know, at some point stuff starts to maybe get a little bitter because of the peels of the citrus fruit, you can always add like a little bit of orange juice, or you know, add a little bit more sugar if you want. If your sangria is starting to get a little bit bitter, I would suggest orange juice then. Oh my goodness, oh so good. So this weekend's Mother's Day. I don't know what you guys are doing for Mother's Day. What are you doing for Mother's Day? Well, as you can see, I'm here at the beach, and you know, husbands try and they fail miserably to help celebrate Mother's Day, and your kids, like, really, like, their teachers help them to make keepsakes, and it's like, how many more macaroni necklaces can I get, or how many more, you know, like sloppy cards or coloring can I, you know, they are precious and everything, but you know, you're like, okay, that's where I'm at for Mother's Day. And then, you know, you got the husband who like thinks he's doing you something great, and he either gets you something completely stupid or he gets you nothing at all, right? Or completely dismisses the weekend, like, you know, weekend. I say weekend because I'm making it a weekend. I'm making it Mother's Day weekend, Katie. Katie, I'm making it Mother's Day weekend, not just Mother's Day. It is a Mother's Day weekend for me. And I think y'all should do it too. You know, so this is what I kind of did a little research on Mother's Day, because I was like, I realized, gosh, I used to have very high expectations for Mother's Day, and I've kind of let all that go, because I realized that there's more to it. And all I care about is that my kids are happy and healthy. I mean, really, when it boils down to it, isn't that really the truth? They're happy and healthy, and I got a good husband, and I've got a roof over my head. I got to count my blessings, right? But I was thinking, like, gosh, like if my kids struggle or my husband struggles to find some way to honor me or get me a gift for Mother's Day, like I think I struggle so much for my mom. Like I'm like, you know, after like so many Mother's Days, she's like, yeah, mom, throw mom a card, send her some flowers. I don't know, like, and it just becomes like a hassle, right? For our own mom. So why would we expect anything more? You know, right? So so I did a little bit of research, and I was like, okay, I was looking for a gift for my mom. What are the trendy gifts this year, you know, for 2018 for moms? And it was some of the stuff that was out there. I was like, really, another candle? I had the Dollar Tree email me suggestions on what to get my mom for Mother's Day. And the Dollar Tree was like a picture frame and a candle. I'm like, are you kidding me? Really? Is that what we're like? Are we still at picture frames and candles, or like Shutterfly with the mug with your picture on it? I'm like, okay, moms don't want kitschy shit. And I don't really think we want that much at all, do we? We just want someone to recognize what we do and how hard it is. And you know, the efforts that we put forth every day of our lives. It's more than just keeping our kids alive and keeping them fed and clean. That's a chore in itself, but it's all the extra stuff that we have to do that like kind of nobody ever recognizes, right? But that's okay. We signed on for this. We love this. We accept the challenge. We're strong women. We're wholehearted women, and we can do this, right? Mom, right? Well, you know, and this helps. But anyway, so I was appalled at like the recommendations that they were like putting out there. It was either these like really high end, ridiculously expensive gifts that who in the right mind would buy, or it was like a dollar picture frame from the Dollar Tree, or something really kitschy stupid that's gonna end up in the trash. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more research to find out a little bit more about this holiday. So I'm talking too much. What are y'all drinking out there, by the way? Are you joining me, or are you just drinking whatever you got in your fridge? Are you staying sober tonight because you're gonna save it all up for Sunday? You know, tell me a little bit about what's going on. Maybe you have mothers that you have to treat this. My mom does not live in North Carolina. She lives far away, so I'm not gonna be able to be with her. So I kind of off the hook in that, and you know, my husband's mother has passed away, so we're off the hook with having to kind of celebrate person to person, like in person with them. But like, do you have to like take your mothers out for brunch or go to church with them or whatever? Maybe this might impress them. Maybe you can pull this out of your hat, because this is what I found was really interesting when I was doing my research about Mother's Day. Pause. But talk about it. Hold on. Talk amongst yourself. Okay, so Mother's Day. It was like 1909 that this woman in the United States kind of realized that she thought it would be really beautiful for families to recognize not just I guess motherhood and mothers and like what mothers do, but it was more of like a family celebration. It was the family celebrating the mother and celebrating the family unit, and the mother who was kind of the head of that household who's making things run and work, right? But there wasn't like big fanfares, there wasn't big parties or lots of gifts or anything like that. And basically what she did and what she promoted was to make sure that you went to church with your mother on Sunday, and that you gave her a white carnation, like a corsage, a white carnation, so that people would recognize that she was a mother and that she was being celebrated that day. Just a simple white carnation, and she would go to to church services on that Sunday, and then you would come home and maybe have a breakfast or something like that, and kind of just spend time with mom that day. And not even just with mom, but like as a family unit that day, just being together. It was togetherness. And I thought, you know what, that is so beautiful. And so then it goes on further. The history goes on further, because it says, like within like by like, this is 1909 or whatever, by like 1915, the Mother's Day kind of blew up and went out of control. Like the florists realized that this was a movement that was taking off, because they started selling out of their white carnations and had to actually start using pink carnations. And that, like, you know, this was something that was really taking off. And then the marketers and the salespeople were like, hey, I think we can capitalize off of this. So let's make this into like a Hallmark holiday where like people should be buying big gifts for their mothers, and people should be making a big deal out of this, and it's like should be almost like a competition. It became almost like a competition, right? Like, who's gonna get their mom the best gift? Like, which is mom, like, okay, is mom gonna love me because my sibling bought her a better gift? I don't, like, oh, and then the moms would talk, oh, what did your Jimmy get you? Oh, my Jamie got me this. So it blew way out of proportion. And so the woman who initially started this was so far from her vision that she actually started protesting Mother's Day, and she tried to have it banned because, or like, canceled or banned or whatever, because she was so disgusted and disappointed at what this very pure day turned into. And so she kind of died with her life's quest, was trying to like cancel Mother's Day. And look at what, like that was 1915, and then like FDR like made it a federal holiday and all of that, and like they blew up into the whole United States. It's an international movement. Other countries celebrate it on other days. We in the United States celebrate it sometime in May. It's always on a Sunday. It's probably usually like the first or second Sunday of May. But other countries celebrate it very differently. Every country does, but like we've gone really out of control with what our we've set the bar. It was just crazy what we think that we need to be doing for Mother's Day. So I said to my husband, after I saw this, I was like, you know what? I don't need any of those things. And it does nothing but cause you and the kids and the family stress. So all I'm asking for is that this weekend, instead of doing your work or working on house chores or working on the condo or whatever, let's all just be together. And all I'm asking for, could you just get me one white carnation in honor of what today was, Mother's Day is supposed to be. Just give me one white carnation, and let's just spend the day together, playing games, playing in the sand, swimming in the ocean, and then let's all together as a family make a dinner together, right? And and it would be great if I could get you all to go to church, but I know that ain't gonna happen. So like, and how I go to church by myself usually on Sundays because it's really hard with my little kids. So that's kind of where I am with it. So I came home today after I was kind of running errands, trying to get everything ready, get kids to school, get ready to come to the beach. And I come home and my husband has like a dozen white carnations for me, which was really very sweet. And I didn't realize how difficult it was going to be to get white carnations. He had to specially order white carnations, a carnation, like the cheapest, most common flower. And he couldn't find them, so he had to order them through the floors. I thought he was just going to run out to like, Walmart or Harris Teeter or a grocery store, and he couldn't find them anywhere. So I know that took a little bit of effort, but I was thinking, oh, all I needed was one carnation, and how hard could that be to find? But so it's a sweet, sweet gesture that he got those white carnations for me, that he heard what I was saying, and he heard that what I wanted was not a lot of fanfare, because I don't want my heart crushed by, this high expectation of stuff that I have in my head that isn't going to happen. I just want to be with my family, and I just, want just a tiny little bit of recognition, and maybe just a tiny little bit of a break. Like, Dad, do you think you can get them their juice today instead of me? Or Dad, do you think you could like help, take my daughter to the potty when she needs to go? And I think that that's all going to happen. And if it doesn't, you know what? Like I said, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm hydrated. So I'm thinking the sangria is going to help tremendously. It's already quiet up here. And I'm thinking to myself, and they know that I normally do this for like an hour, right? I normally have a friend with me that partners with me on these broadcasts. But I came to the beach. So, and my friends are still back in Greenville, or they're, at a different beach or something like that. So unfortunately, I missed out on having partners. So I'm sorry if I'm kind of boring and I don't have anybody to bounce anything off of. I love to bounce stuff off of you guys. Like, what are you drinking tonight? What did you get your mom for Mother's Day? What did you get your mom for Mother's Day? I'll tell you what I got my mom for Mother's Day. So freaking good. Okay, so my mom, she's in her 80s and she has everything that she needs. But she was telling me that she was having a hard time because her doctors are saying in order for her to keep her joints loose and help her to keep her metabolism and just general overall health, that she needed to drink more water. And she would drink maybe one of these of water a day, and maybe a cup of coffee. It wasn't even water. She would be drinking like soda and a cup of coffee every day, which is way, way below what she needs to be drinking. So I got her one of those like water infusers where you put the fruit in the little basket or whatever, that it goes in the water thing. I know that's not like anything really glamorous, but it's something that she's mentioned in passing and thought that she, and I thought that would be a lovely way for her to be able to drink some more water and have a little bit more flavor. And she got it and she loved it. She thinks it's sweet, and glad that like I heard something that she needed, as opposed to like just buying something kitschy and stupid like from Shutterfly. Like, right? Hey Brooke, how are you? What are you drinking tonight? Hey Brooke, what'd you get for your mom for Mother's Day? What did you get? You know, what did you get for your mom? And well, you know, of course, we'll also be sending my mom flowers. As, you know, from all of my brothers and sisters, and I will be sending her flowers. And my brother's going to take her out to brunch, so it's just she's covered. And you know, after many years of being disappointed by either no Mother's Day gift for myself or a really bad Mother's Day gift for myself, I'm treating myself to a couple of things. Do you guys do that? Do you just say, you know what, honey, forget it. You're not going to get me what I want, so I'm just going to buy it for myself. It's really pathetic, but you know, and I really don't need to treat myself. I have everything that I want, but you know, whatever. I got myself some things. It wasn't anything like high dollar or anything like that. One thing I got, which I'm really excited about, and this is really stupid, I got myself a hand immersion blender. I had one and it broke, and so I haven't been able to make like my power smoothies or make my soups and my stews or whatever because the immersion blender that I had, like, you know, the stick blenders that you can, like, you know, blend in the pot. Yeah, it broke. So I bought myself a $20 hand blender on, you know, Amazon or whatever. So that came and I was like, woohoo, yay, that's my Mother's Day present. I don't need much, you know, and that's something I need. I don't even really consider that a gift because it's something that I need, but you know, I'm calling it my gift. And the other thing that I did was that I splurged, and I'm gonna try to come close, and you might not be able to tell or see, but can you see because the lighting behind me is really bad. Can you see? Look at my eyelashes. Can you see my eyelashes? Okay, it's really bad, but like you may have seen on a previous post. I got my eyelashes tinted. Not my brows, my lashes. Yeah, so the thing with that is that I was getting a facial the other day, and the lady that does it, she was saying that, oh, I can see that, you know, your eyelashes, you have pretty eyelashes, and I use that Latisse or that like lash boost from Roden Fields or whatever to try to keep my eyelashes long. She's like, you know, she says to me, let me try this on you, and it was $25. She tinted my eyelashes. She's like, first, it'll last for about 6 weeks or maybe more, depending how aggressive you are with washing your eyes and your face or whatever. And she said, but it'll last at least 6 weeks, and it makes it appear like, it makes your eyelashes look more defined, and it makes it look like you're wearing mascara. And so I noticed, like, even just right after I walked out, I'm like, look, I actually look like I'm making an effort. My hair is always in a bun, and I never wear any makeup, and like, I can actually fool people into thinking that I'm wearing mascara for the next 6 weeks, and that's a $25 spend, you know. So I was like pretty happy with that. So I got my immersion blender and my $25 lash tinting. So yeah, that's the big splurge on me, because it is all about me. And I'm gonna make it into a weekend because I'm not expecting people to fawn all over me this weekend and like serve me all weekend or anything like that. Or yeah, and then there was that part of me that said, gosh, maybe I just want to, at one point I said, oh, maybe I just want to go to the beach by myself for the weekend so that I could just have some peace and quiet. But then, you know, I kind of felt bad. I felt like that's kind of selfish to have to leave my husband with my 2 kids by himself. It's a chore, and I want to be with my family, and I just want to, like I said, play games, get crazy, get messy, and go to the beach and hang out, and no work, no yard work, no housework, no laundry, no chores, no errands, no phone calls from work, nothing like that. Like, just family time. That's my plan. And this sounds really pie in the sky, and tonight when my kids are tearing it up, I may have a completely different take on it. Like, even on the way over here, my daughter was screaming in the car for like a half an hour about how she wanted Skittles for like a half an hour. Skittles. And my son was freaking out in the backseat, crying, saying because he couldn't remember how to count 5s. Like, he has one of the things at school is that he has to count count to 50 by 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, the whole, and he's crying back there going, I can't remember, I haven't been practicing, and he's freaking out because he can't count by 5s. She's freaking out because I won't give her any Skittles. I was like, oh my gosh, we got to get to the beach. I'm going to miss my Facebook Live. Yeah, so, but we got here in one piece, and my kids obviously aren't bleeding because they haven't broken down the door yet. My husband isn't screaming at me. But I digress. I haven't been drinking enough of my cocktail. That's the problem. When I'm by myself for these wine tastings, I can't stop talking, so I don't have enough time to drink. Oh my gosh, this is so good. I hope you guys, I hope you made some of this. And if you didn't make any with me to drink tonight, do yourself a favor and start making some now, or at least tomorrow. I mean, you can, on the Facebook Live tutorial that I did that talks about the sangria, if you're in a pinch for time and you don't want to watch the 15-minute video, you can look at, there's a link in there to my blog. Yeah, I have a blog. I mean, like, this is crazy. I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, and a blog. Some of you follow me on all those, some of you follow me on some of those, but like the blog is new. I've only been doing it for a little bit, but there's a post on there. The most recent post is the recipe for this sangria. And it's easy. It's super easy. It just takes time for the flavors to melt. Like I said, you got to do it overnight. So it's like a lime, a lemon, an orange. I did a grapefruit here in replacement of a peach. Grapes, strawberries, like a quarter cup of powdered sugar, and it's like a half a cup of these different liquors. And then you an entire bottle of red wine. There's the type of red wine that you need to have is in there. You can, I said in my tutorial that the red wine that they recommend or that's traditional for a sangria is a Burgundy red, but that's kind of hard to find sometimes. But you can get a Pinot Noir to substitute. Is it Pinot Noir? Is it Pinot Noir? Pinot Noir, I think it's Pinot Noir. Because the grapes are from the same family. So it's like literally all of that stuff that I talked about in an entire bottle of Pinot Noir. And you just let it sit overnight. And in the morning, like I said, about this much of the base of what we made with some chunks of fruit and some ice, and then you top it all off with some 7-Up or Sprite. So good, so refreshing on a warm day, and you can drink lots of it. It's super good. So yeah, if you haven't made it already, go make it. Go make it. There's you can still have your mimosas or Bloody Marys on Sunday. Have you ever had breakfast in bed? I've never had breakfast in bed, and I don't know if I would really want it, because my idea of breakfast in bed is let me watch Netflix and let me eat like breakfast in bed without a bunch of people trampling on me, and not like a bowl of Cheerios with, you know, that my kids threw together and is spilled all over the place. I'm okay without breakfast in bed. I'm okay without a big brunch. But you know what makes a lady feel like a queen is a good mimosa. A good mimosa, or even a spicy Bloody Mary, or a Bellini. Have you ever had a Bellini? A Bellini is like champagne with peach nectar instead of orange juice. All of these things that you guys get to try. Start with the sangria for sure. So I don't know what you guys are doing tonight. It's Friday. It's 5:30, and I probably talked enough because I don't know. I've got no partner here, and nobody is giving me any comments. Maybe you are, and I can't see what they are, but I'm thinking about you guys. And I know I said all this stuff was pie in the sky, and you know I have all these grandeur ideas of what this is going to turn out to be. You know, this great family weekend. It might be a complete clusterfuck, but that's okay. I said the F word. Might be a complete cluster, but that's okay. Because that's what life is as a mom, right? We're a mess, but that's okay. We're allowed to be a mess, because you can be a good mom and you can be a mess too. You can be both. Cheers to you guys. I hope that you have a fabulous Mother's Day or Mother's Day weekend. And next week, let's catch up and share stories. Let's share our fails and our successes, and you know, how my weekend actually turned out, my pie in the skyness. Cheers to you. I'm thinking about all of you. You're tough mamas. You keep the kids alive. It's more than that. Moms are a huge part of making this world go round. I know it doesn't ever seem like it, but it is. I love you much. So much. I believe in you. You're strong. You're smart. You're important. Good stuff. You just keep momming. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm proud of you and I love you. And have a fabulous Mother's Day weekend. Take care, guys. Get the sangria. So good. Good night.